Our first vocab term is communism. Think of community, commune, everything together. So the definition is a government system where the government owns everything and spreads it equally among its people. So examples are everybody has the same home, the same clothes, and the same amount of food. This is at least how it is supposed to be, not how it usually ends up turning out. Some historical examples of communist country would be Cuba, North Korea, Vietnam, China, and Laos, although many would argue that it's not quite true communism, but we'll get into that later. It might sound great that the government provides these things, but the government also tells you where to work, tells you where to live, gives you the same clothes they're giving everybody else. And it's kind of a society where a taxi driver would get paid the exact same amount of money as a doctor. So although everybody is free and taken care of, the issues with it are that even though everybody's equal, why would you study all those years to become a doctor when you could be a taxi driver if you're going to be paid the exact same money? So historically, a lot of people have criticized communism for kind of carrying everybody with them, regardless if they're contributing or not. So in class, imagine if you were in a project and somebody did all of the work and then someone didn't do all the work and they both got the same grade. People would be pretty upset. Authoritarianism, so authority, authoritarianism. The definition is a system or style of leadership where people have to obey whoever is in charge no matter what, or else they get punished. Some examples are China, North Korea, prison, maybe your parents. I don't know, maybe they're strict. But basically, if you don't do what the person says, you're in trouble. You have to listen. There's no arguing. This is how it is, and you have to follow it. Which kind of leads us to censorship, which is getting rid of or not allowing of material, speech, or actions that are considered harmful or dangerous. Some examples from class is governments banning free speech, so you can't say anything you want, and you definitely can't criticize the government, and websites that they can't control. So, for example, in China, there's no such thing as Twitter. Twitter has been banned in all of China, and they can't get on it. In school, you could block websites on your Chromebook, edited songs on the radio, being banned from YouTube or other social media platforms for bad behavior. And then our last vocab term is a bit of a combo. It's democracy and capitalism. So democracy is a system of government where you vote for your leadership, and capitalism is an economic system where market decides value in individuals' own property. So back to communism, how everything was shared. In democracy and capitalism, what's yours is yours depending on if you can afford it. So you can own your own house, you can own your own car and clothes and whatever style you like, as long as you can pay for it. Now, the thing about the market decides value, think of teachers and how much they get paid versus NBA stars and how much they get paid. You might think that teachers and doctors and nurses are way more important to a society than professional athletes. But if we're talking about value in the market, it's about how much you could pay them. So, for example, I could be a teacher. I'm skilled enough to be a teacher, but unfortunately for me, there's no way I could be in the NBA. I'm not skilled enough. I wasn't blessed with those talents. LeBron James has, and he's amazing at it, so he gets paid all of those millions of dollars. But if he wanted to be a teacher, he probably could. So the difference in pay is the fact that less people could do the professional athlete thing, or else a ton more people would be professional athletes, but only so many can, and that's why they get paid more. It's kind of like when you have a fancy pair of shoes. If you are the only one who's going to be able to get a hold of these shoes, they're going to be worth so much more money. So in America, that's a capitalist democratic country. We vote for our leaders, we get jobs that we apply for, and we are paid based off of value. Ideally, a lot of people do get taken advantage of, and we start businesses to make money. So all of these terms, the communism and the democracy and capitalism, it's a bit more complex than these, but just think of this as like your base entry-level information. And then authoritarianism and censorship are pretty straight up.